It's Christmas and it's articulations coming next. Welcome back everyone to another episode, and we're going to be looking at articulations. There's a lot on YouTube showing you what articulations are, but I'm going to go through a very basic setup on how you would look at articulations. One thing I would say is don't be frightened of them. They're really good. What are articulations? They're primarily linked into the MPCe enhanced pads for the MPCe Live 3. And we'll go through it now. So essentially, if we go into our main mode here, I put in that sample of the jingles there for the minute, but if we look at our first drum track here and we select a drum expansion, so let's find something we like. Lo-fi is good. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Sounds good. Okay, we'll choose that one. Right, so essentially we want to make sure we've got at least a drum, a snare. That's fine. Okay, we'll work with this. So articulations, how do we work with them? So this is our set of pads and our set of drums we've got here. And what we want to do is start to edit them. If you select a bass, in fact, if you select snare and then we click on edit, and the reason I say snare is just I wanted you to show you that when you click on edit, it automatically looks at the last pad you selected or you hit, which was snare in this case. So if you have it on bass, it would have gone for that. So how do we start articulations? Let me just go back. Articulations is where the sound can treble up. It can multiply in different ways and flavors. You can flam some of your beats. And on the pads here, what we can do is each corner of the pad we can articulate with a different type of sound and sound difference. I'll come to it in a minute. So essentially, if we do that, you can hear it's just a drum beat. Okay. If we click on the effects button twice, 1, 2, we get to the articulation page, or the page where we can make some modifications to this actual pad. So first thing you need to do in articulations, which is highlighted at the top there, just enable it. And then if you see there, you got 1, and then click the corner 2, and then 3 is that corner, and 4 will be there, and it highlights it there in this little box there. Okay. And what we want to do is select 1, we want to keep that. And then for 2, that corner, we want to change it. Now to change that articulation, we just double click on that menu, which you just saw there, and then we select what we'd like to select, so basic rolls. And from here, what we can do, if it is selected, you can not bad. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, we'll deal with that. From here, you can add more layers of articulations into each corner. So if I select 3, which we've got there, it goes to none as default, and then we can look at something else. Let's look at this. Let's try that one. Maybe change it. See, there are different things you can do to build up your pad, and this is what we're actually doing. We're building up our pads. One thing I will say is once you've set up your articulations, you can then save this to your template. I did a video some weeks back, maybe last week it was, on templates. Build your template up. If you want articulations in there on your pads, brilliant. It's the way to do it. Then you don't have to do this every time. Okay, so from here we can change things like, now we're on that one. We can change that corner of that pad. We can change the soft clipper, so actually do that. Can you hear it? That kind of, I like that actually, that's really nice. And then we can change the bass E, the bit crush. Let's turn that on. Let's see. not bad. And again, you can modify the sound through these changes in this actual page. Spend your time, take your time, enjoy it, work around with it, and see what's good for you and for that type of sound you want for your song. Got soft clipper. Again, there's a variety of different types of things and effects we can use to change. So I use high pass on that. Let's turn that on actually. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go through everything. That's for you to actually look at, but because it's an introduction to articulations. From there, we can go into the mod sides. We can look at the velocity. We can look at the amp envelope. So from here, we've got 3 options. We can look at a fine tune. We can look. We change the semitone. That actually changes the entire sound of each corner by the sounds of it. Yeah. So what you're doing there is not changing each corner. You're actually changing the whole sound of that pad, including the 4 corners. Okay. So we'll go into sample pass and lift from that. And then again, we will have options to make more changes. Again, fine tune it. So on this one, this again, I think. Yeah, that sounds good. And again, we can go through different levels and pitching and pain. Again, I'm not going to go through everything for you today. So that's it for that. In fact, no, we want to stay on this because I want to go to effects again. We can add additional effects on top of this. So we can go to equal filter, filter gate maybe. I actually don't like that. Enhancer. That sounds good. Actually enhances it slightly. So that's pretty good. Again, we can add 4 layers of effects. You can, I think you can overdo it, maybe. So yeah, definitely you can overdo it. Let's go back into effects again. And let's go into the snare. Let's do a roll on the snare. Again, we enable the MPCe. Select 2. Well, if you select 2 anyway, you should just do it. And then what we'll do is we'll go into triplet returns. Select it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you get the idea of what we're trying to do here. Once you've built up all your pads, and again, you don't have to do everything. You can just do the first 4 pads here. Then you can start recording, and we'll do a bit of recording now. So let's go into our clip side of things. Let's create a new clip here. And I like to hold it down, click on edit clip, and here I can see the view of it. So when I'm recording, I can see each step and it gives me an idea. But first thing I should do, and I should have reminded myself, is that's quite a nice trumpet sound, but I didn't mean to touch it. If I move that across there, if I change the actual tempo down, because what will happen is if I click recorder now, let me leave that 8, I'll give you an example. And I want to do a fast beat, that's not going to sound right, and it just won't work out right. Okay, so the time correction needs to be on what you're actually doing, the cup of sound. So that would be about 100 BPM. Okay, so if we do this now, and let's go back into that, edit, stop, edit clip, okay. Now, that sounds all right, but what we can do is if we just move this clip along here and see what it sounds like, and we can replay it again. Not bad, actually. And then if we go into clip matrix and we select here, do this. I think there's something to be made there. Anyway, that was just a quick overview of articulations. I hope that helps. Once again, if you're building up your template, say that's your template, of course. And that's it for today's one of many Christmas videos I'll do before the end of the year. So I hope you enjoyed that. On that bombshell, I'm going to leave you to hopefully have a few drinks of the old wine. I don't know if you drink that abroad. Guys in the States, Whatever you do, enjoy your evening. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.